My name is Malika. I'm one of the hosts at Urban Asian, and I'm excited to kind of dive into your character on The Signature, which is on Z5 Global.
hmm
So
Nice to
just
meet you. Nice to see you.
thank you, you too. So just starting right off, what as an actor and as a producer really drew you to the script of The Signature that made you want to be a part of it?
I get very easily and very um, conveniently and convincingly drawn to human stories. And this
Okay.
is one of the finest human interest story that I have seen. I have gone through situations, and especially after COVID, uh, there is not anybody who must not have gone through a situation like this where their relative, their friends, their people they know are in the hospital and they are in this dilemma that this man's wife is in under ventilator, life support, and he has to take the decision. It's also a story of today's children, the relationship with them, but not shown in a very typical manner. Nobody is a villain in the film.
Yeah.
The son has a point of view. He says that my sources of income is limited. At the same time, the daughter-in-law is understanding. The the friend who is
Yeah.
trying his level best. But it highlights certain issues. It highlights there is a friend of mine whose grandparents saw the film and they said, "What did you think soon after the film?" He said, "I want to tell my grandchildren and children to have an insurance policy."
Okay.
That's one thing. And then there are so many that I wanted to perform in this film in a manner where the believability of the character is more important. You see, the story is in any case there, but it's also it can be played in a little exaggerated manner. It can be also played in a little Bollywoodish manner. But I wanted to do a film which will have a global appeal because of its subject matter.
Okay.
So Zee5 Global goes into 190 countries,
Mhm.
and I was telling somebody recently that it can be shown in any language. It can be
Yeah.
a Chinese film, it can be a Japanese film, it can be a Polish film, it can be an American film, because the theme is so universal.
Yeah. And I think that's really seen, especially, in the film, the kind of internal struggle that your character is going through throughout the entire film. And so what was the, hardest scene that you felt like you had to film without having to have you give away any spoilers? But was there like, excuse me, was there a hardest scene that you had to film and shoot throughout the schedule?
You see, it's a story of an ordinary man.
Okay.
And I think as an actor, I find the most difficult thing is to be ordinary.
Okay.
Because without sounding cheeky, I'm an extraordinary actor.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. So, for an actor like me who has done so much work, I
Yeah.
really wanted to make my job difficult by making the character extremely ordinary so that anybody on the street identifies with it. My father was a clerk in the forest department. He was an ordinary man. I thought of him. I thought of there's another friend whose father was something like that. So I think
Mhm.
to do this role in a manner where people will identify, and I did not bring Anupam Kher, the actor, in the character. Uh,
Okay.
and when you have a body of work which is huge in 40 years, 542 films, then you can see glimpses of, oh yeah, this is Anupam Kher, this is Anupam Kher. But I think I will say it very humbly and proudly at the same time that because I tried to portray the character as close to life as it is, that is why it's having an impact that it is having. And not only me, every other character is portraying it in a very real manner.
So, what was it like working with Nina Gupta? Because a large portion of the film, as playing your wife's character, she is in a coma, she's in a hospital bed. It's almost as if you kind of have to interact with someone who's not really there. So, what was it like, in those scenes
So
with?
Nina, she's very good. I've worked with her earlier also.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, she was presumed dead in coma but her body language was so emotionally charged that even that it did not feel that I am talking to a person who is in coma. And that is the greatness of that actress, that I felt for her. Um, you see, otherwise the actor goes and lies down because he has a bed while the other actor is talking. But I think she gave me such emotional vibrations that my performance was dependent on her. She's a phenomenal actress, and I'm happy that she was part of the film. Every character, I think, working with Mahima was I I approached Mahima to do this role because
Okay.
Anupam Kher Studio is the producer also of the film.
Yeah.
All the actors I sort of got. I for one scene I got that Ranveer Shori to do that one scene.
Yeah.
But I think he's so brilliant in it because he represents so many people in that one scene. And Mahima was phenomenal, and Mahima was going through her personal breast cancer issues at that time. She was on chemo, and when I called her up, she said, I can't do the film. She was in the hospital getting with her mother and getting her chemo done. And I said, I want you to travel to Lucknow and I want you to do this role. And where are you? Why is there so much of sound coming out where you speak? Go to a corner. She said, I can't. I'm in a hospital.
Yeah.
I said, okay, so can you come to Lucknow? She said, I can't. I'm bald. My hair, I've lost my hair. I said, come with that and we'll do something. Because in a situation like this, it is very important to get people out of that physical situation.
Yeah.
Having gone through it myself with Kiran, my wife diagnosed with cancer 3 years back. Touch wood, both Mahima and Kiran are in remission. But
Yeah.
I think it's important to work. Because work is a great distraction. And I was very happy that she did that. And Manoj Joshi is there. It has a great cast. It has a
Yeah.
cast of actors.
And I will say you brought together some of my favorite actors in one screen. So it was amazing to kind of watch everyone portray their characters in characters that we might not have seen them in
What
before.
is your takeaway from the film?
I think what it made me think about is as an only child, how I would approach it if one of my parents were sick. I am an only child, so for me, it's a lot of that responsibility falls on me. So
Mm-hmm.
it made me reflect on how I would do it. What would I do, and who would I go to for help or assistance?
Great.
Um,
Yeah.
I did cry at the end of
May you never have a situation like that.
yeah. And the emotions that you brought out of, your character are very strong. And so as an actor and as a producer, does your viewpoint change when you're also producing the same film that you're acting in, especially when it's such an emotionally charged film?
But well, I would want to say that Anupam Kher Studio. It sounds very strange to talk yourself in a third person, but but I would like to get associated personally, and my company could get associated films which people can identify with.
Okay.
With people can sort of we can make a difference in somebody's life. Not necessarily means I would like to make entertaining films also, and films which sort of are larger than life, but smaller stories with greater impacts is the kind of brief that I have given to my company people. And and there are so many stories. The way the signature has touched people's lives and touched people. I was in the park in this morning, and there were two people came, and one of the old men, his wife died 2 months back, and he was in the same problem that he had to sign the paper, DNR form, and he said, "My children said, let her go. She's suffering." But I said, I'm married to her for 60 years. How can I let her go like that? I don't know whether I have her permission or not. So when there's a conversation like this happening, I, as an actor, or I, as a person who has this company, get more firm in my belief that it's important to make cinema like this also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And I
100% think it's very important to kind of see these stories on a global scale, like what you were saying earlier. So thank you so much for taking the time to
thank
speak.
you. Thank
Um,
you. Give my regards to your family and all the best to you.